You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
I am Glenn the Geek from Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Jamie Jennings in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Friday, November 15th, episode 3563, brought to you today by Kentucky Performance Products. Good morning, horse people.
It's Friday, and another weekend of riding is a few short hours away. Jamie and Glenn are here to help you make it through the day with some fun guests and some really bad ads. Enjoy the show.
I can't believe you just said November 15th.
It's crazy, right? It's almost Thanksgiving. What?
It's like we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions that we don't make pretty soon.
Telling you, man, it's just we're getting this gate put in on the front, and Chad was like, I don't know, the pillars that I really wanted are expensive, and I was like, how much? And he told me, I go, buy it. We're walking and now running towards death. Buy it. I'm the most fun person to live with now.
Ever since that saying, you're that's all you can think about.
I just like, why would you wait? What are you gonna? You have the money. Why are you gonna wait till like 2 years from now when you want it now? Come on, do it.
You know, we have a gate for the first time, and we don't have an automatic opener on it. Like you don't either. And you've lived there for 10 years, a lot longer than we have. But I'm already sick of it in 6 months. You know what though? It's a fine, you say, I need the exercise, blah, blah, blah. And you make that excuse as you get in and out twice to shut the gate, right? But then when it's pouring down rain, it really sucks.
It sucks. And it's getting to wintertime. So we have an appointment for them to install a gate where I have a clicker. I'm going to have a clicker, Glenn. This is so
not
fancy.
Lose the clicker.
Well, let's cross that bridge when we come to it.
Fortunately, they're just attached in your car, so usually you don't lose them. But I'm so excited for you. Getting a gate's a big deal. That's like a grown-up thing to do.
I know. We have, and there's like rules that you come up with. Like, okay, now that I have Anna and Lucas, the person who sits in the front has to get the gate, which makes it to where they don't fight over who sits in the front seat. It was genius. And then whoever gets it on the way out, the other person has to get on the way home. And usually youngest, if there's like no discernible like rule, it's the youngest. Youngest gets the gate.
Is that Lucas?
Oh, yeah. Always.
Well, today on the show, we have British correspondent Katie Gilmour. She's going to join us with the headlines from the UK. Jamie's going to update us on the training of the mule and how that's different than the horses. Some random news and some really bad ads all on today's show. Remember the escaped monkeys in South Carolina from the research facility? I think we talked about that last week. There were 42 of them.
I do.
Yeah, 25 of them have been caught.
Oh.
They have caught 25, but there's 18 still out there in the wild.
I just don't know who to root for in this one.
From all the comments I've seen on Facebook, everybody's rooting for the monkeys.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm not like a jerk. Go monkeys, run!
Now, I can tell you from living in Ocala, where we have an overpopulation of monkeys over in the forest, at some point it gets to be a problem, and it is starting to get to be a problem over there. They're discussing what to do with the monkeys. Yes, but I have heard that
they're all females. No males got out, so it was all the smart women monkeys who got out, so they can't reproduce.
Well, that's good.
You're fine. Just leave them alone. Let them free.
Well, 18 of them are still free. I was surprised they actually caught that many that quickly, to be honest. Also, I wanted to announce that we are doing an extension for submissions for your voicemails, your songs and stories and poems for Radiothon. They were due today originally. Now they're due by the end of the day on Sunday. I got some emails from people wanting a little bit more time. And I think election years are so different. We've been through how many elections now on this show, but I think they're so different and people are just focused or depressed or happy or whatever.
Paralyzed.
Paralyzed. Good term, actually. So yes, unparalyze yourself and get your submissions in by Sunday night. At this point, there's nothing anybody can do about it. So you might as well be happy and send a submission in. And you get triple the entries for the over $4,000 in prizes. And don't forget, I think we don't mention this enough, you can just go to holidayradiothon.com and register to win the prizes. You don't have to do anything. Just sign up. Just put your name and email address down, and you can register to win over $4,000 in prizes. So go do that. Hundreds of people have done that already, and if you're not one of them, just go do it. It's free, it's easy, no obligation. All right, Daily Whinnie time. We have a lot of birthdays today. Auditors having birthdays this weekend. Natalie Lee, Sumiko K, Christine Waldron, Kayla Tabai, Ellen Ettinger, Melissa Pistachio. It's still my favorite name to say every year. Melissa.
Yeah, it's the best.
It is the greatest name. And Terry Golson. Happy birthday to all of you. We hope you have a terrific weekend.
Well, you mentioned I was training a mule. I didn't mean for this to happen, but I'm having all sorts of new things happen in the training world. And so I would like to tell you guys that our auditor, Tara, is bringing Jean to the house today. Jean is my first ever Chincoteague wild pony that I get to train. She adopted him and had him. Now he's of age. So Jean is coming this afternoon. So I've not only got a mule, I've got a Chincoteague wild pony that's coming to be trained. And
Good
also,
omen, by the way. Jean was my dad's name, and he is a very calm, quiet individual.
oh my God, my dad is Jean and he's not calm and quiet. So we'll see
Go
what
with
we
my
get.
dad.
Also, I did something for myself, and I'm just going to share the results with you guys. I had Marion, the animal psychic, read Raisin the other night, and I just was going to give you guys. I thought you'd
Hellraiser,
find
right? Yeah.
Hellraiser,
Yeah.
So Hellraiser Raisin is a horse that came to Horse and Hound. He has a fairly extensive traumatic past, and out of the kindness of her heart, tons of trainers called Nelda at Horse and Hound and said, please take this horse. Nobody owns it. He was kind of like left at the track. So she took him in and had him and got him back. And he then came to me and I trained him, and he was here for like a month because he was so traumatized, and I sent him back. But then my heart hurt. Because he's just so interesting. So I just said, bring him back and I'm going to foster him, because after the whole Cinco thing, I was like, I just would like to help a horse. Like we discussed, I like to have one traumatized, difficult horse on the farm at all times. So Hellraiser came, and he's got such quirky behaviors that I called Marion and had her do a reading of him. And I just wanted to share a little bit of it with you, Glenn.
Okay, I can't wait.
Now, mind you, this horse is lucky to be alive. Okay, lucky to be alive. Has had terrible experiences, and I do know that he is sore in some places, and she was spot on with those, saying his withers hurt and his shoulders hurt. I've started pulsing him, which she said was really good for him. But all these things, she said. And mind you, Raisin is 4, but he looks like a yearling. Like, he's so underdeveloped because of his past. So she said, he's very underdeveloped. And I said, yes. She goes, he's very underdeveloped in his mind. I said, yes. A lot of his foundation training was skipped, and his brain is in baby mode. Yes. And there was a problem, if you remember us, when we had who's our new sponsor, Poseidon Animal Health.
Yes.
I said I had this horse who didn't want to eat, and there was this supplement that they sent me to help encourage him to eat. And so he said when he got here, he didn't want to eat because he was too stressed. And I was like, yeah, that's for sure. She also said that he's stressing out all your other horses And I said, yes, that is for sure. He's like that annoying kid who like never had any boundaries. And he's like, hey, yo, play with me, play with me. And they're all like, oh my God, go away.
That was Jack on the late bus heading home from school. Jack was the kid in my late bus.
Knows that kid. Hey guys.
His name was always Jack for some reason.
Well, funny you mentioned the name because his name is Hellraiser, but we started calling him Raisin because he had all these cuts and wounds all over him when he came, and turns out he was doing it to himself.
Oh,
he did it to himself. I thought it was just because he was annoying. No, turns out he was doing it to himself. So she said that. I said, well, what does he think about his name? His name is Hellraiser, but we call him Raisin. She was like, well, I mean, he actually likes it, but his actual name is Chuck. I was like,
are we sure it's not
no.
Chucky?
I said, tell him no. I'm not calling him Chuck. She said, it's okay. He likes Raisin. But let me tell you what this diva said, okay?
Yes.
This is a horse who is lucky to be alive. He would really like carrots, but not just regular carrots. He doesn't like them whole. He wants them sliced, okay?
Yeah.
And yeah, when I go to feed in the barn, because now he loves food because of Poseidon Animal Health, I really think that that turned him around. Now he's psychopathic when it's time to eat. And she said he wants to eat first. He says, screw all the other guys. He comes first.
He and Scooter are kindred spirits.
Yeah. So not only does he want to eat first, he wants carrots sliced. She also said that some of the stall behaviors would be alleviated by putting some like traffic cones in there or some cardboard boxes like you do with the special kids.
If he's anything like Scooter, I think he'd smash him to bits.
Well, I tried that yesterday, and I had 4 cones. I stacked them up and he separated them all. So that was cool. He wants to be a jumper, which is okay, cool. She said that jumping and success go hand in hand. And he wants to show people that he is worth something.
This boy has an attitude, doesn't he?
I know. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, hold on. This horse that is lucky to be alive, would like sliced carrots, would like to eat first, wants to be a Grand Prix show jumper, and also like is annoying every other horse. I was like, you nailed it. She did say he wants to learn, but I said physically he's not really capable of working hard yet.
Especially not jumping 4-foot fences.
No, she said just work him until he's mentally tired. And we have started going over the poles and just walking over poles, and he's doing really good with that. So anyway, this princess, and what did I do yesterday? I fed him first.
Did you give him sliced carrots?
I don't have any carrots. I'll have to go to the store. Sorry, Your Highness. I didn't have sliced carrots the next morning.
Scooter likes carrots of all kinds, but he really likes the little baby tender carrots better than the big chunks of carrot. Yeah. He would prefer the tender baby carrots. I do too, but you know.
I'll work on it for Scooter and Raisin.
Yes. Baby tender carrots for Raisin. He deserves it.
She was like, he's got a lot to say. And I was like, it's getting annoying now.
I gotta go.
That's enough. I gotta go. Just tell him, fine. I'll send him some damn carrots and I'll feed him first and we'll work on the jumping thing. But tell him to shut up because and I'm not calling him Chuck.
Chucky maybe, but not Chuck. He would like some caviar and maybe a little sushi on the side. He's such a bougie horse for a Hellraiser.
He is very bougie. She did say, she goes, there's something that he's eating right now that has molasses in it that he really likes. It's like really wet, like a wet something. And I was like, okay, every day he gets beet pulp with molasses in it that's been soaked for at least 45 minutes, and then he gets KPP supplement on top of it. She was like, he likes that. I was like, yeah, I'm sure he does. It's like $1 million.
Hey, today in the post show, you remember we had a conversation last year because our house was infested with fruit flies and we couldn't get rid. We had a whole conversation about what to do. In the post show, we got them here. It's like every house we go to gets fruit flies.
Take out the trash, Glenn.
I think it came in with fruit. So I got in the post show, I'll tell you, we have bougie fruit flies because I found the thing they really like that they're committing suicide in. So I will let you know that in the post show.
Can't wait.
All right, Kentucky Performance Products, you just mentioned them. Let's hear from them. And then we're going to go to our UK correspondent, Katie Gilmour, with what's happening across the ocean.
This Nutritional Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. More and more horse owners are managing older horses. One of the best ways to care for the senior horse in your life is by prioritizing their digestive tract health. Older horses are less able to maintain a well-balanced microbiome and repair and replace damaged tissues. This can lead to an uptick in ulcers, colic, or free fecal water syndrome. Poor gastrointestinal health decreases the horse's ability to digest and absorb adequate nutrients. It also impacts the effectiveness of the immune system, leaving older horses less able to fight off diseases such as EPM. Adding a research-proven digestive supplement to your older horse's diet can help maintain a healthy GI tract and reduce the incidence of digestive issues. We recommend Probiotic Wise to our customers with senior and geriatric horses. Probiotic Wise contains the true probiotic Saccharomyces boulardii. Unlike other yeast-based probiotics, S. boulardii remains viable through the acid environment in the stomach. It supports the healing of damaged tissues, reduced inflammation, and the optimal digestion and absorption of nutrients. Furthermore, Probiotic Wise contains fermentation metabolites that support a well-balanced microbiome. Probiotic Wise is sold through your veterinarian, so ask your vet if Probiotic Wise is right for your older horse. You can learn more about Probiotic Wise at kppvet.com. Got questions about your feeding program? We can help. Email Karen at questions@kppusa.com or call us at 859-873-2974.
Well, we have our UK correspondent, Katie Gilmour, with us. She, of course, is from the podcast Poles, Piaf, and Prosecco. And we talk to her once a month about what's happening over there on the other side of the ocean. And what is happening over there?
Oh, lots is happening over here. We've got a couple of good news stories that are really quite heartwarming for you. But apart from that, we're also gearing up for London International, which arguably I think is one of the best shows of the year in the UK.
Yeah, that one, we even hear about that one over here.
It's a really, really great show. It's 5 days of amazing horse sport, and it goes across the whole spectrum. So you don't just have dressage, you don't just have show jumping. You've got carriage driving, you've got showing. The Showing League, in fact, they have an amateur version, which they call the Rising Stars. And, this is a massive exhibition centre in the East End of London. It's huge. It hosts the boat show and things like that normally. And these guys swoop in there and they turn it into a competition venue with stabling, with 3 arenas, surfaced arenas, a grandstand, a shopping village. It's really quite phenomenal what they managed to achieve in what is a London exhibition hall. Do they get a lot? We always talk about over here, we have a problem getting non-horse people to attend any kind of horse event. Do you think you get a lot of non-horse people spectating at that one because it's in town? Yeah, I do think you get more there. I mean, they do a lot of displays as well. So you have the Shetland Pony Grand National, which, as it suggests, is a lot of little tiny furry things galloping around pretending they're racehorses, which is a whole league in itself. It's actually quite a serious competition for young jockeys, and many of whom then go into racing. But then you've also got the displays like the Metropolitan Police come and do displays jumping through fire and things like that. The Cardet Noir from France come over, Pride of Portugal come over. So you get these most amazing displays so that if you have a non-horsey partner or just general non-horsey people, there is stuff to see. And the shopping isn't just equestrian. In fact, there's less and less equestrian items in the shopping now. There's a lot of things like art galleries exhibiting and that sort of thing now, which, it brings in a different audience. So why not? But we are actually recording the podcast live from the live stage. So they have a live stage in the middle of the shopping, which is right next to the arena where they do the showing. And we've been asked to interview a couple of people on the live stage over the lunch break during Grand Prix Day.
Well,
not at all scary.
Yay.
Not at all scary at all.
Well, it's no different than talking to them on the phone for your show. Except for the thousands of people. That
exactly, from the thousands of people sitting there watching us. And I did say to Tanya, my podcaster in crime, I said, are you not a bit nervous? And she said, no, because I just do what you tell me to. was like, oh, so it's on me then.
It's all on you. Well, good luck with that. That's so much fun. It is fun to do. It is fun to do those events. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you brought to the table an article today that was in Horse and Hound, and this might be the first time we've talked about the electric company. So tell us about that.
Yeah, you do. It's quite a strange one, isn't it? Yeah. I know I'm going to tell you about electricity. So a Scottish electrical company, the Scottish and Southern Electricity Networks, have brought back horsepower, literally. They're using heavy horses to reduce the impact of tree removal, which allows them to maintain their electricity network, which I think is lovely. What they're trying to do is not disturb the ground and the woods as much as heavy mechanical machinery would do. So they've got 4 staff members that have been trained in logging, and they've done proper training courses as members of the British Horse Loggers. And they have new equine team members, Ellie, Luke and Ben, all heavy horses. And I think it's really quite nice to see that the heavy horses are coming back into work. And they're talking about it being a great way of minimising disturbance. They're also doing manual tree cutting along with the horse logging rather than massive great chainsaws. And they're being a little bit more sensitive in the way they're taking the timber from the broadleaf trees. So they're, nourishing and encouraging the forestry as it should be done, rather than going in heavy-handed. But most importantly, these beautiful heavy horses, which in the UK are breeds that are dying out, now have a job. So, I'm kind of hoping that would lead to breeding programs and more heavy horses going back to work.
I love this. And having been a Percheron owner in the past, we occasionally would hitch the Percheron up when we cut down a tree in the woods and have the Percheron. And they love that stuff. They love pulling.
Yeah.
So, I think that's so cool. Good for
it's
them.
Really cool, isn't it? Yeah. Really cool.
It's probably really cool for the loggers, too, because it's something new for them and different,
Exactly.
Or they hate it, one or the other.
Well, I imagine it's a slower pace of life, though, which, in this age of mindfulness and taking life a little bit more slowly, it's perfect, isn't it? Because it kind of takes you back to a time when we perhaps weren't running around quite as much as we do now.
That's cool. That is really cool. All right. And then, so do we have somebody retiring? We do. So one of our biggest para riders, Sophie Christiansen, has called time on her sporting career. So she's won 30 championship medals for Britain, and she's just announced that she has retired. She is going to carry on training other riders. It's been quite a dazzling career with her. She's had gold medal winning partnerships with a variety of horses, and she's really done quite a lot for para riding. She's totally committed to everything she puts her mind to. The para world, as we know, is very competitive, and she's done extremely well. But she plans to now help generations of aspiring Paralympians and carry on campaigning for support for para dressage. So sad that we won't have her on a team again. But, she's been on the teams. She's been a triple gold medalist. She's done London 2012, Rio 2016. So as far as her career goes, I think she's probably done an amazing amount. I think I met her at one of the WEGs that we covered. I think we met her at one of those. She's not that old, is she?
No, she's not. She's not. And they don't say whether it's a physical issue. But, I do kind of wonder. But I just love that the quote from her says that she still plans to be involved in the sport and she wants to help others achieve their dreams, which is a really nice way of looking at it.
What I remember about her is her smile. She smiles all the time. Yeah.
Yes, she does. And she's genuinely someone that really loves her horses. So I'm sure she will still have horses in her life, even if she's not competing.
Well, congratulations to her. That's great. I mean, she is like a triple gold medalist. So,
Exactly. It's good to get on a high.
Katie, I got to jump in because I don't think I've ever heard it put so eloquently and lovely. And I just love hearing you talk. You could read the phone book. But when you said she called time on her competitive career, I'm like, that's the coolest way to say she retired ever. But I am glad she's going to stay in the sport.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she's done extremely well. And we owe her a lot because, she's one of the riders that's brought Paralympic dressage to the fore. And as Glenn said, she always had a massive smile. Her career has spanned 20 years.
That's incredible.
She made her first debut in Athens in 2004 at the age of 16. Wow. So while, she's not very old, that's a long career. Uh-huh. And to be at that level of competition for that long, that's got to take some sort of toll on your psyche as well, hasn't it, really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hey, before we let you go, I've got to talk to you about just my newest podcast addiction, which is your podcast, Poles, Piaf, and Prosecco. I love it. Get my little notification every time it comes up. What's going on? What's the sneak peek for the current or upcoming episodes?
Okay, so at the moment we're on cocktail month because, it's November, it's dark and it's cold. So Tanya, my pod partner in crime, her brother owns a cocktail bar, and we went up and we basically learned to make some cocktails so we could teach our listeners what to serve at their yard Christmas parties.
Nice.
We may have ended up with a slight headache, but it was a lot of fun. And then we're still obviously covering training questions. Tanya's been covering things like young horses doing shoulder in, canter rhythm, more pole exercises on those episodes. Prior to that, we were talking to alternative therapists for Alternative Therapy Month, and one really stood out. So we had someone that works in applied zoopharmacognosy. Try saying that after the cocktails. So I have a young cob mare who has Malander's syndrome, which is where they get scabs down the back of their legs. And it's a chronic condition. It's caused by making too much keratin in the skin. And applied zoopharmacognosy is basically self-selection of herbs. So the practitioner came out, loads and loads of herbs, and let Clover select what she wanted. Now, 3 weeks later, there is not a scab on her legs. They are perfectly clean. Absolutely. She chose milk thistle, which interestingly is really good for the liver. So perhaps I should have that after the cocktails.
That sounds about right. Well, how cool. How cool.
Really cool.
Can't wait to listen. Well, Katie, thank you as always for coming on and catching up with us.
Great to talk to you both.
Good to talk to you too. Well, it's time to hear from our sponsor, Valley Vet. And hey there, equestrians. It's me, your favorite horse. The holidays are coming, and I have my Valley Vet supply wish list complete. I've been dreaming of a new saddle that is a comfortable fit for you and me, a shiny new bridle to stand out in the ring, and an assortment of saddle pads. Oh, and please don't forget those brushes and supplements. That's a bougie horse, Glenn. I mean,
Demanding.
talk about bougie horses, very demanding. I want everything new. ValleyVet.com has a huge selection, and I love a good grooming session and need to maintain that healthy glow. While you're putting my gifts in the cart, this is a letter from a bougie horse. I would love for you. Oh, how nice. I would love for you to treat yourself too.
Oh, it's a generous bougie horse.
ValleyVet.com is the go-to destination for riders to source apparel, boots, and more from top brands at best prices. So when you're shopping for me and my barn mates, you can shop for you and yours.
with what money's left.
What you have left. ValleyVet.com this is written by Raisin. ValleyVet.com has the items we need to feel and look like a champion. From fun to pharmacy, simplify your shopping experience and save precious time this holiday season. You can find gifts for everyone you love and enjoy. Fast, same-day shipping at ValleyVet.com.
Well, all right. Let's talk about what is the mule's name that you got in for training?
The mule's name, of course, is Fancy.
Fancy the mule. Yeah.
Fancy.
Is it he? Yeah. So
it's a she.
It's a she. Okay. So
it's a she.
Are there male mules? I forget that rule.
There are male mules, but remember all
Is it
mules.
the donkeys that are the one or the other? I get so confused.
They have girls and boys. But mules can't reproduce.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I knew there was something in there.
We've done a deep dive on mule.
I know, and I don't remember.
Because I know Farm Boy and I have been doing like deep dives. Like we're like, what about this? And I'll be like, let me ask my answer phone. So I was calling her a Jenny, and somebody corrected me that she's not a Jenny, she's a Molly. The Jenny is the mule. The Molly is the female. Sorry, the Jenny is the donkey. The Molly is the mule. Okay. Yes, it's a whole thing. There's like
and all the things we're learning because of your training.
I did learn this. This is pretty funny. So usually you'll have a male donkey breed to a female horse to create either Jenny or I'm forgetting the other one, but
Jack.
Let's move on because that's sure, whatever. I don't know. So then less common is the male horse breeds to a donkey, and that produces with a female version is called a henny. And I was like, I wonder why the donkey to horse is more common. It's because horses typically aren't sexually attracted to donkeys. I was like, that's really hilarious. Oh, poor little donkeys. The horses don't want to breathe them, but apparently, girl horses will breathe to anybody. They don't care. Come on.
So what have you learned about training a mule that's different than training a horse? Because you're in your first probably 3 or 4 days, and usually you do join up, and then you go through the Monty routine. And I'm assuming you tried all that. What's been different?
Well, what's different is, and I talked to Monty about this actually, because she is more on the feral side. And so when you do a join up with a feral animal, it's different. You won't get, because they haven't learned to accept humans to trust, like to be touched. They haven't had their touches yet. She is really, really hard to catch. So we started doing join up with a line on. So when you ask them to come towards you, you can give them some encouragement with the line, like, hey, we're not going to hurt you, because she is trained to lead. That's the only thing. So she's trained to lead, but you couldn't touch behind her face or behind her shoulder or touch her feet or any just basic wild horse stuff. And I don't have the wild horse facilities that Monty has, so we're having to just make do with what we have. But I mean, they learn so quick. Like, she is, once you do something, she's got it. So I posted a video a couple of days ago, me about 20 feet away from her, and I jump up in the air about 3 inches. Okay. I just jump up and down, and she bolts. Well, like the next day brought her out, and I was jumping 3 feet from her. So today I'm going to hopefully put my hands on the saddle, which we've been able to get the saddle. She's had a bridle now. Like I said, even though she has a lot of fear, she's not like abused where she hates humans. She's just wild. So kind of when you work with a wild horse or mule, I guess in this case, if they're really, really abused, it may take 300 repetitions of something for them to get it, because you have to think of their brain as a filing cabinet, and they've got all these bad pictures in the front. And so you have to replace those pictures with a bunch of good pictures to push all those bad pictures to the back of the file. And don't forget, they're still there. So with her, she doesn't have any pictures in the filing cabinet in her brain. So we're able to put pictures in there fairly quickly, but she is very guarded because she did come from a kill pen. So she does have some trauma associated with her life. But that was a year ago. She's been with some nice people this whole time, but not done much. So what is difference between horses? Am I getting nerdy? Am I boring you?
No, this is good. Boring? Yeah.
Okay. So the difference between donkeys and horses, because we study this in the course I took at Monty's, is that horses have fight or flight. Okay. Well, mules have a third one, and donkeys. And it's flight, fight, or freeze. And you know how everybody always says donkeys and mules are stubborn? Mm-hmm. They're not. They just freeze. They just need an extra minute. So like there's times where you've tried to do something, you like look at her and she's like, just wait. And you just wait. And then she's like, okay. So a lot of the she's
when determining whether she's going to run or kick your face in. She's deciding which one to do.
The blessed thing about this mule and what makes her really fun to work with is she doesn't have any aggression towards humans. If she's uncomfortable, she just bolts, which is great because it's not cow kick.
Yeah, at least that puts you further from the feet.
It does. So it's really nice. I've worked on picking her feet up twice. I can get the front feet. The day one, I had a helmet, and day two, I just forgot to bring it out. But typically I'll wear a helmet when I'm teaching things to pick up their feet. But we ended up having to use an artificial arm on the back legs because she kind of gets pretty uncomfortable when you're touching her back feet. She has been trimmed, but up until now, she's been sedated to be trimmed, just some oral Dormoxidan to keep everybody safe until she came to me. So that's kind of one of the fun things I get to do is teach her how to hold her feet up. But yeah, just that freeze thing and how quickly the next day she's like, oh, okay. Now, I will say that she is going to be sold at the end of training. So if anybody is looking for a fun little colored mule who she needs a
How big
lot
is
of
she?
work. She's probably like 14 hands. I don't know. I never look at them that small. Like I'm used to looking at 16, 1, 16, 2, 16, 3. So probably like 13, 3, 14 hands, something like that. I don't know. I mean, everybody looks tiny next to Farm Boy. He's freaking 6'4".
But it's not your huge mule like you see. This is a pony mule.
It's a mammoth mule, but it's a smaller mammoth. I don't know what size they're supposed to be. I mean, she's not like 11 hands or anything. So she seems about 13, 3, 14 hands. But her owners do not, they're at the age where they rescued her, but they don't need her. Her flight response is too intense for somebody in their 70s. So they've responsibly decided to rehome her. Yeah, I'm really, really glad about that because I was like, I cannot train a wild mule for a 70-plus-year-old rider, and just be like, here you go, hop on and go.
She's pretty though too. She's got good color.
So apparently, she's a kind of a rare type mule with her coloring and everything. So she's like an Overo mule, which is weird. I don't know how any of that works. I just learned that male horses don't want to breed to female donkeys. So I'm like, my knowledge is just scratching the surface on this whole thing.
It's been a long time. Years ago, we had a mule expert on the show. She was one of the premier mule trainers in the country. But boy, that was probably 10 years ago.
It'd be fun to have her find her and have her back on.
I don't even remember who she was, but I'll have to look that up. Let me look it up.
Yeah, look it up because it is interesting, but it is cool, like how she is just gets it. Like we put the saddle pad and just like warming up with the saddle pad, like breaking it up to her and away, up and away. Now you can just fling that sucker on up there. And this is I've trained her for 4 days and I've already got her tacked up. I've already got her long line and she gets very scared when you disappear behind her. I'm not 100% sure her vision is not clouded in her left eye, because her left eye, she acts like she's got some vision issues in her left eye. So
how old is she?
I think, how old do you think she is? They said, Glenn, what's your guess? The Killpin said.
Oh, 8.
You got it. She's 8. And actually, because I put the bit in her mouth, you can't touch her mouth. So I put the bit in yesterday and she was mouthing and I looked at her teeth and I was like, well, hell, she is 8. It's actually true.
It's the only one ever sold that's actually 8.
ever in the history of the world. She's actually 8 years old. But you know what? Like I said, she's really fun as opposed to some of the other ones who want to hurt you. Yes. She doesn't want to hurt you.
She runs away instead of at you with the front feet. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's such a relief, honestly. Like if she runs away, it's because I just did too much and it's my fault. I'm come back and I'll break it down. And that's the whole thing is like, how simple can I make it? And then build from there. So training a wild horse or this mule in particular, I think, okay, I've got a ladder and I want to get to the top of the ladder. I can't start the ladder in the middle. I have to start at the very bottom rung and slowly walk my way up the ladder. So I tried to think of it like that. So it's funny. Farm Boy comes over every day and he's having so much fun doing it too. We're like, okay, what are we going to do today? Okay, well, she needs this. Okay, let's pick one. And we just go to work on that. So in 30 days, will I get on her? I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
the one thing you don't have to retrain them. Once they learn something, they learn it. I mean, you're good. Yeah, she just has a lot of fear. Yeah. So that's the one they like. But I was able to catch her last night, which was the first time I was able to just walk up to her. She doesn't run. She's in a little paddock. And so she doesn't have a ton of room to run away. But she doesn't want to run away. She kind of looks at you like, I'm just going to move away a little bit. I don't know. Okay. Okay. And last night I walked up to her and she was like, oh, okay. So like I said, we're having a lot of fun with her and who knows how far we'll get in a month. We're just going to keep checking the boxes and see what happens. All right. Well, I'll ask you about this again in a week and we'll get an update.
Sounds good.
As horse owners, we have an unlimited supply of love for animals, but we tend to underestimate the cost of their care. Routine and unexpected expenses can quickly add up, making it hard to keep pace. Wouldn't it feel great to always be prepared with a budget-friendly way to manage these costs? The Care Credit Health and Animal Care Credit Card can can give you the financial peace of mind you've been looking for. With flexible financing from Care Credit, you can get the care that your horse needs, then pay over time in easy monthly payments. You can use Care Credit at more than 25,000 veterinary hospitals that accept the card, and use it to pay for everything from diagnostics to surgery to wellness exams and routine care. Care Credit, it's your card for a lifetime of care. Subject to credit approval. To learn more and apply, visit carecredit.com/horses. That's carecredit.com/horses. Well, it's time.
If you ain't met one by now, you're bound to sooner or later. He says one thing and he means another, but hey, he can't help it. He's a horse trader. Horse trading. Well, it's a laissez-faire. Let the buyer beware. Horse trading. They tell a low-down lie with a sincere stare. Horse trading. Well, if they're talking in circles and the deal ain't square, he's a master in the fine art of persuading. Horse trading.
That's right. It's that time of the week when we do some really bad ads. Listeners send ads in from Craigslist or Facebook or some other place, and we just have a little bit of fun with them. And the prizes that we give away every month are provided by HorseLoversWithAZ.com, home to over 120,000 products for your barn, home, horse, and you. Visit HorseLoversWithAZ.com. And this month, we're giving away a Perry's Fancy Stitch Bridle with reins worth $230. This is horse size. It's the perfect English bridle for any occasion. Perry's Professional Hunter Bridle features beautiful, fancy white stitching on the raised portions of the noseband, brow band, and reins. These are really nice bridles, by the way. So it has a padded nose, and it adds that kind of classic hunter look. It's half-inch cheeks and stainless steel hardware, including hook and stud closures. So it's worth $230. We'll be giving that away in a couple of weeks. All you have to do is send ads in, and you qualify to win the prizes. If you record your ad and send us the audio version, then you get double the entries. All right. First up, speaking of recording ads, JMO sent this one in.
Hey, this is JMO from New Hampshire. I have an ad from Vermont that is not quite a bad ad. I actually found it really amusing, so I'm going to read it anyways. For $600, Rare Steuben Survival, 18-inch. Meet the Steuben Survival. This is the Steuben Scout's blue-collar cousin. Hotter, older, more seasoned, and shows some signs of wear. The saddle is prepared for more long, tough days ahead, and with the huge knee blocks and multiple rings, it is up for whatever weird adventures you have ahead. I bought this with plans of sacking out beers on my conditioning rides, but alas, my pony is too fat and my ass is too small, and I can't afford to hang on to it in hopes that we have some sort of Freaky Friday scenario. I'd love to be able to buy a saddle that doesn't remind me of the jeans from 5 years ago that I'm keeping around, just in case. Please buy this. Please. I will ship it to you, and if you're nice to me, I'll even throw in a bad drawing of your horse.
Wow. Remember, just like Jabo did, if you send it in, you get double the entries. So that's fantastic. And I also have those jeans and I have that saddle. So cool.
Amy sent this one in. Oh, God. This is going to be a tough one.
You take a deep breath.
Why'd I give this to me? Amy sent this one. Upstate New York, Everything Horses and Goats Facebook page.
Oh, God. There's a Facebook page for everything.
Why do they put horses and goats together? All right. Oh, God. There's no punctuation and nothing makes sense. This gray, his registered name is Fernando. He's 12 years old, and he was used as a high school roping and barrel horse, but have sat for a 1.5. I rode him, and my Facebook has for the past 2 months in an inside arena, and he has also been out of a few times to catch calves. He is 15 hands. Got that?
No, Facebook wrote him. And
yes.
By the way, you did really well for that because you gave him a whole lot of credit. Because
that's the only way I could read it.
You added words and they're misspelled. So good job, Glenn.
I love that Facebook, I think, wrote him for 2 months in an inside arena. But and by the way, there is a picture of a white horse that looks so sad. It looks like the saddest damn horse you've ever seen in your life.
And it's definitely not 12.
No, this is a 25-year-old horse.
Bless its little heart. Andrew sent this one in. This is from the Facebook page called West Virginia Horse Network.
Look at that picture.
Oh my God, what am I looking at?
I don't
Just
know.
from my head sideways and like upside down.
From the top.
It's West Virginia, y'all. Oh God. There's no periods, no nothing. Looking to sell my 2-year-old gelding. He'll be 3 this July. His name is Carmel. He is sweet when he wants to be, but I don't have time to break him in. He's only a little broke. Green. He's got growing to do and has been around cows and other horses with all types of farm birds. He has a lot of spunk, and with the right person and dedication to breaking him will make him a great horse. And this horse is a sideways photo, and this horse is standing in mud that has painted, I think, it's a palomino, and the mud is all the way up to its chest, and it's standing in soup. And basically, if you train it, it's going to be amazing.
This is the first ad we've had in 14 years where it says that he's been around cows, other horses, and all types of farm birds. That's the first time anybody ever posted that they're farm bird safe. Whatever that means.
It's farm bird safe.
Rena sent this one in. Free and lease horses and ponies, don't know where. Mini mare is hard to catch, especially if with other horses. Once caught, good to do everything else with, and able to be handled by with kids. If you're interested, you have to come catch her, as I'm not able to anymore due to back and hand injuries.
Oh, wonder how you got those.
From the mini. Doesn't say that, but we're assuming. Only reason why I'm rehoming her. PM if you want any more info. Yeah, like how did you get your back and hand injuries? That's what I want to know.
Well, obviously she can't type with both hands because she misspelled caught. She misspelled homing. She misspelled injury. She misspelled reason. She misspelled especially. Oh my God, what a mess.
Yeah, but look at the pictures. Those are the cutest damn little minis. That one on the left there is adorable. Oh. Evil eye, though. That mini has an evil eye.
This is the definition of sell well ponies.
Yes.
Like they made it after this one.
Oh, right. And it has the one white eye and the not other white. I don't like when they have one white eye. That just freaks me the hell out.
I think my hair on my neck just stood up.
I can't do it. And I apologize. Anybody that with a white eye that wants to complain, if you're a horse, write to Jennifer@horseradionetwork.com. We know we're biased.
Interesting. It's a dark bay with a blue eye.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often unless the hand of Satan.
I could not own a one. I'm sorry. I know you people probably love your blue-eyed horses and ponies, but I can't do it.
Oh, Glenn, you've made everybody mad.
I know. Jennifer@horseradionetwork.com. Go complain there.
Maggie sent the next one in, and this is an Equine Now post, and it's Fallon in Nevada, gendered mare, age 2, height 5.2 hands.
It's a little one.
Color black bay, breed thoroughbred.
Oh,
great horse.
Wait a minute. That has to be a Guinness World Book of Records. That's the shortest thoroughbred in history.
In history, well, the cool thing is, great horse would be a great barrel, reigning like the queen reigns, team roping pool, bending horse, or even jumping had halter on and has been sat before. I wouldn't mind trading for a barrel horse.
Well, good luck. Who knew a 5'2" hand horse could do all of those things?
I mean, it has done team roping in the pool.
And jumping at a 5'2" hands, you probably get good 12 inches out of that one.
Wait a second. Is that the picture that goes with this ad?
Oh, my God. It's just the belly of a horse.
It's literally a picture of, if somebody took the camera and they were like, I'm going to take a picture of the horse, but hold on, let me squat down and take a picture. So, the top is the underside of the horse's belly. You can see one back leg and one front leg and the arena sand. Dude! What are you trying to show me?
We have every year or every week we end up with a theme, and this week we definitely have a theme. Adrian sent this one in.
Oh, see, what is this? What is this?
So let me read it first, and then I'll tell you what it is. Chicken coop on wheels, 12 by 12 pen, and a 12 by 12 pen for $250. Chicken coop on wheels, 5 nests accessible from outside, wired for electric. Wow, it's fancy. Bougie chicken coop. 1 light socket and wall-mounted 200-watt heater. Also included are 4 4-foot by 12-foot panels for pen. Probably should be trailered. Tires not suitable for road use. No kidding. If listed, it is available. Delivery available at extra cost.
Go ahead, describe this, Glenn. Let's see what you got.
Well, it's a Coachman truck camper. You know the kind that fit in the bed of your truck, that kind of camper? Except they cut the top off and they put some metal roofing around it, all the way around it, and then they plunk the top back on. So they basically extend it up a little bit higher because, chickens need room. And if you scroll down, Jamie, you'll see that they actually made nests, chicken coop nests, out of 5-gallon buckets that are inside the camper, which is why it has electric, because it had electric as a camper. Yeah, you're not moving this. It's actually on wheels, but you're probably not moving this.
Literally, it's the truck bed set-in camper, and they whacked off the top, and it's like if you had like a metal shed, you just plunk that down right on top of it.
And then put the roof back on.
You're going to burn your farm down if you plug something in there.
Especially as the chickens eat all the wiring for the electrical sockets.
I almost wish we could just post a picture. The problem is that we can't post them because then somebody will message us wanting to buy
every
it.
Time.
Every time.
That's why we stopped posting them on our main page, because we got so many messages.
Let's see. This next one. Beautiful Hackney mare and or 6-month colt, $2,500 in Hugo, Oklahoma. Do you know what's interesting? I've been to Hugo.
Can you go look at this Hackney mare for me? It's kind of cute.
Why? You can't even see it. It's
Jennifer
just the head grazing.
Stop.
Hugo is where they have the elephant rescue.
Oh.
What's she saying?
She gets a horse first. That's what she's saying.
Okay. Let me read this. The title. I'm going to need my glasses for that. We'll try. I have a heart emoji, beautiful Hackney mare and her colt. Oh, wait. This is Hugo, Oklahoma. This is country. I have a beautiful Hackney mare and her colt. He is 3 months old, born out in the pasture, strong and healthy. Sammy, the mare, she rides and drives, although not in a couple of years. The foal is spunky and playful and full of energy, and his name is Heavenly Day, nicknamed David. David is half Arabian, half Hackney, and he will mauve to a great size. You can buy one or both. If you want the mare and her colt, the pair is $3,500. And the picture is of okay, good luck. Just go ahead. Cool. Go. Great.
I love the fact that this is a Hackney and a Arabian together. 2 of the most sane horse breeds you're ever going to find.
They're very sensitive, Glenn. And now the cool thing is you could take this as a long con. You got to take this puppy and you're going to have to train it to be a driving horse. It's going to take you 17 years. $3,500. What a deal.
Our friend Ashley sent this one in. Oh, she's looking for horses again, she told me. But don't tell anybody, because I wasn't supposed to tell anybody. But she's looking for horses
she needs to look somewhere else.
Yeah, because she lives in New Mexico. And this is from New Mexico Equines. Hello, I got this mare, and I believe she's going to have a foal in the springtime. Did the phone, all the punctuation be taken off all the phones? Did they reprogram the phones? Because there hasn't been one lick of punctuation in any of these ads today.
You got to fight through it, man.
Hello, I got this mare, and I believe she's going to have a foal in the springtime. She used to ride. That been like 2 years ago, so she just been out with the herd. Price $500, located in Counselor, New Mexico. You're going to need a counselor when you have to do this one. And by the way, yes, I think the mare is pregnant, by the way, because there's pictures of a very, very fat mare. Or it's going to be getting founder very shortly. One or the other.
I mean, it's just got a big belly, Glenn. It's just her humble waistline.
And Lord knows what she was put out with. So.
Oh, God, they don't know. Anna sent in this next one from the Missouri Horse Facebook page. We'll take 8 eyeball emoji for him if you can come by Monday. Bring your cowboy. Bekasu, he sat most of the year and don't love to be caught. Coming for Crypt. He will make a good horse.
What the hell did you just say? The only thing I got was bring your cowboy, and I was kind of wondering why.
Because you can't catch him, Glenn, and he's also Crypt Orchid, so the surgery is going to be several $1,000s. But trust me, he'll make a good horse. And the photo is of a horse that looks absolutely petrified, standing behind electric tape, and looks like he wants to kill you.
Kill you. Yes, I look like I dare you to open that gate.
These horses are going to haunt my dreams tonight.
Last one by Sherry sent this one. We got some new people this week. Paint Gelding, thank God, there's punctuation. Because it's long. Paint Gelding, 10 years old. His name is Chubbs. He is utterly broke to ride. Tie him anywhere and he'll hang out. Put the grandkids on him for pony rides. Move your neighbor's cows out of your horse pasture and back into their own pasture. Let your cousin take him to 4-H and run barrels. It's all good. But there's always a but.
There's always a but.
He doesn't like his back feet touched. I mean, really doesn't like his back feet touched. Not when he's tired, not by the grandkids, not by your neighbor. The farrier whose cows you've put back 3 times this month, not by him either. And definitely not by your cousin. Not kidding, folks. He'll take your kneecaps off. Potential buyer will need to at least try to pick up those hind feet. What are you trying to kill people looking at your horse?
What?
I thought I read it wrong, but it says potential buyer will need to at least try. If nobody else can pick up the back feet, why do you think the potential buyer can?
Do you make people sign releases?
Just so you know, you've got the kahunas to... Oh, no, just so I know you've got the kahunas to work with him, because I don't. Oh,
so potential buyer will need to at least try and pick up those hind feet, just so I know you've got the kahunas, which is cojones, to work with him, because I don't. What?
You're trying to kill people. This is selling it.
Go back to my Flyover Farm video and look at the video of the artificial arm that we used to train horses. Now, what they did is they did...
No soul.
They cut out the feet in this so we can't see that this horse's back feet are like scuba flippers.
Yeah. Oh, my God. What a bunch of ads today. You guys sent us bad ads. We asked for bad ads. We got bad ads.
I'm not going to sleep tonight after seeing that pony with the blue eye and then that Crypt Orchid standing in the pasture looking like he wants to murder me.
We had a theme. All right. Thank you, everybody, for sending your ads in. You didn't disappoint this week. You can send them in to Jennifer@horseradionetwork.com if you want to be qualified for the prizes or just help us have some fun on a Friday.
Now, Glenn, what is your appointment time to go look at the chicken coop? Because I know...
I'm not sure how I'd get it on the trailer. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody. Hold on, auditors. We're going to talk. Jamie's doing an adventure this weekend, and I'm going to tell you the magic to catching fruit flies. I know you're excited.
Oh, boy. Here we go again. Spade neuter gelt.
Where else do you get this kind of programming on a Friday?
I mean, we just inform and entertain. Educate. We're journalists, Glenn. We're journalists.
15 years of doing this. Hey, we missed our anniversary again on November 1st.
I know. I thought of it the other day.